Hello everyone, it's your High Priestess Moon here, and welcome to another episode of Spiritcraft. Today I have a lot planned for us. We are going to start out building a greenhouse. My girl needs a greenhouse so she can study the magical properties of all the plants around her. Next, we will get into a new mod called Cagedmobs. Next, we will create the outline and plan out our city we are going to build in the following episodes. And lastly, to tie things up, we're going to progress more in the mod called Mana and Artifice. I'm really excited to keep progressing through that mod because I've been having a lot of fun casting spells and doing rituals. So let's get started! Alright, I have finished up my greenhouse build and I'm really pleased with how it came out. Let me show you around it quick. So I have it so you come in right here, and I still need to decorate the inside of it, but I'm going to do that next. And I don't know if you noticed during the build time lapse, I have these little glass cages you would use on the outside. And I think it's really cute. I think it gives the build a little bit of extra depth that it needed. And I made it so it looks like it's overgrown with vines and flowering oak leaves. So now it's time to decorate the inside. Alright everyone, I have finished the interior of my greenhouse and it is my favorite build I've done so far, I think, in this series besides my mansion. Let me show you everything I did. So on the outside, I think it looks so cool at nighttime. I put these little flower fairy lights right on the entrance, and I think that gives it a really nice little detail and texture. When you come inside, you can see I have a lot of texture on the ground using different kinds of pathing and little leaf carpets. When you come in, you see a little table that we can use to chat or study our plants. I've got some lilacs and sunflowers growing in this bin, and I have some roses and sunflowers growing in this bin. Over in this area is my tree studying area where I study the tree saplings and the different leaves. I have some hanging leaves at the top, and I also have these hanging fairy lights that are flower shaped, which obviously matches the greenhouse theme really well. In this one I have a random flower from the mod Oh the Biomes You'll Go, and I have some ferns littered around. Over here happens to be my mushroom study area, and next to that is my flower area where I'm studying the different types of flowers I found along my journey. And I think this place just looks so magical at night. What do you guys think of this build? The next thing I wanted to do today is have a dedicated area for the mod called Cagedmobs. Now this mod is pretty cool because you can set up a cage, and underneath the cage you can put a chest, and basically you can take a syringe and you can hit a mob, whether it's passive or aggressive, and then you can place the DNA that you get from the mob into the cage, and it'll put a little tiny mob in the cage and it'll collect all of the drops that the mob would normally drop. And I think that's going to be a great way for me to automate a lot of the things that I'm going to need from different mobs, such as wool, leather, bones, or string. So I'm going to start collecting the resources that I need to make them. I'm going to make 12 of them to start. I think I'm going to put the hostile mobs in here, and I'm going to put the farm animal mobs inside the barn because I haven't done anything with the barn in a while. So let's take a peek and see what kind of materials we're going to need. It looks like I'm going to need a bunch of iron, so I'm probably going to have to go mining because I want to make 12 of these hopper mob cages. So I'm going to have to make 12 of these normal mob cages, and then I'll need 12 hoppers. I'm not sure which syringe I'm going to need, but I'm going to probably make at least this first DNA sampler, and we'll see if I have to make the diamond DNA sampler. So I will be back after a little mining trip. I am back from my mining session. I will show you all the goodies that I got. I ended up getting almost 2 stacks of iron. I had about 23 diamonds before, so I found another 20 or so diamonds, and now that I've done mana and artifice and progressed a little in that mod, I can now get chimmerite gems from mining diamonds or emeralds. So now I'm going to use my ore doubler and double all of the iron that I found so that we can use it for building the cages for the caged mob. So after forever of waiting, I was only able to make about 4 hopping mob cages. Out of all of that iron I gathered, it just wasn't enough. I am still waiting on 33 of these to smelt up, so I will have some more iron, but it's taking a long time, and I think I'm going to get started with making the passive mob cages first in the barn. So we can head out over to our barn. Now that we're here, we can set up the 4 chests that we're going to need, and we can place them right here. Now we can place our mob cages right on top, and now we need to collect all of the samples, and since our sheep is right here, we can just collect it by hitting it like that, and now you can see that the syringe has turned green. I believe I can just put it in there. Oh yeah, I think that each mob cage has to have the correct environment inside, and I think for animals there needs to be a piece of hay in there, which I have a lot of, so let's try putting the hay in there. Oh yeah, it worked. So now that the hay is in there, we should be able to put our sheep in there. Oh yeah, it's going now. Let's see if we can see it. It's so tiny. That's so cute. It's just so tiny. So I think once that's grown all the way, it should drop. The mob drop should fall into the chest once it's grown all the way, but I'll let you know if it does. While we wait, I'm going to start collecting the cow next. And now we can find the chicken. And now we just need to find a pig, which I actually don't have in my barn area. I need to gather them. And in he goes. Oh, perfect. So it is actually working as intended. As they grow, it looks like they are dropping all of the drops they normally would if you killed them. And I believe I can get cooking cage upgrades, which actually cooks the meat for me, which I'm gonna see if I can make that. Blackstone. Do I have blackstone? Block of quartz. You know, I don't think I have this stuff. I haven't really been to the nether much, so we'll wait on that. But that is going to be so handy to be able to gather all of these things that I normally would have to kill a bunch of stuff for. And it looks like our cow friend is like, what are you doing to my friends? They're so tiny when they start out. Something I don't know if I showed you guys, but I actually made this garland for Christmas. And I know it's past Christmas now, but I think it looks really cute. And that's part of the Fairylights mod if you guys are interested in using garland for anything. And also, I don't know if you can see, but I also put a Spiritcraft lettering thing from Fairylights as well. I think it looks so cute. And I think it works perfectly for my first build. It's kind of the start of the series. So I think it looks really cute. But now that this is working as intended, I think we can go see if we have any more iron available so that we can try testing it out on hostile mobs. So back over in the wizard tower, I was able to make one more hopping mob cage, so I just need to grab a chest And now I can set this up for the hostile mobs, and I'm going to place the first one right here. And I was able to get a sample of a skeleton, so we will see if it goes right in here. And it looks like it's not going in there, but I always forget that it needs some sort of environment block. I don't know what kind of block would go in there for a hostile mob. Maybe, I think I read you have to put stone in there possibly. Oh, that looks like it went in there. Oh, and it worked. Let's see if we can see him. Oh, he's just a tiny little skeleton. That's so cute. That is so cute. So we'll wait until he grows up and see what he ends up dropping, and I think I'm probably going to have to do another large mining session and try to gather up as much iron as I can, because obviously almost 2 stacks of iron wasn't enough, even though I ore doubled it. So I'm still going to need one for spider, zombie, enderman. I think having a slime would be really amazing. I could try grabbing some of the mobs in the nether as well. Maybe the piglins would drop gold. I'm not really sure if they would work in the cage. But I also do know that I could make a netherite DNA sampler, which I think I could probably get a wither DNA sample and get nether stars from that, which would be really cool. Okay, so it looks like he drops the normal stuff you would get if you killed him, and I think having the extra bone will be really nice because I use a ton of bone meal to get all of the grass in my area, and having a source of arrows will be really cool, and bows. Alright, the next thing that I would like to accomplish for today's episode would be getting rid of all of these trees over in this area where I want to build a city. So I'm going to cut to a little time lapse of me demolishing all these poor trees, and I will see you when I get back. Alright everyone, I have finished doing all of the landscaping and making the outline for my new city that I'm going to build. I'll show you around now. So I'm right at the end of the path that I've made from a previous episode, and the path is going to continue right on through here. And as you can see, I have a little pillar up here with a sign saying I want to make a windmill. They always look super great in a lot of different builds. I've never actually built a windmill before, but I know that they look really good. So I'll probably end up putting maybe some more wheat around it and maybe a little bit more of a field over it. But anyway, we will keep continuing on the path through here. And as we get to the water, I'm going to have another bridge right through here. And as you can see, I have a structure right here that I think I want to put a lighthouse. I think that would look really cool right here, and I could build some docks and stuff since we are on the ocean. Maybe I could try building a boat as well. I've never built a boat before. And as you can see, I've outlined everything that I want to build. The white blocks are going to be housing, and the granite blocks are going to be stores. And I don't think I've really mentioned my idea for having a lot of different kinds of restaurants. In Pamsharvestcraft, there are a ton of foods, and I've always wanted to make one of each kind. And I've wanted to put each food item into an item frame to show that I've made it and keep track of what I've made. But I don't really have a wall that's big enough to keep track of hundreds of items, and I don't think it would look good. So what I decided I wanted to do is I want to have a bunch of different restaurants to house the different items that I'm making. For example, let's say I want a bakery, and in the bakery I'm going to have little item frames on the wall, and it'll display what's for sale there, and that way I will know if I've ever made a pumpkin pie before, or if I've ever made, you know, a blueberry pie. So it'll be a way to show if I've progressed through that mod. And I think it'll be really fun to decorate all of those different kinds of buildings. I've never actually worked with these kinds of shapes before, so I'm not sure like how hard it's going to be to make the roofs and stuff, but I kind of wanted these buildings to remind me of Colorado and different mountain towns. I really like how everything is kind of put together. All the buildings are kind of put together in a way, and there's just like tight, cozy paths throughout, and I think it's going to turn out super cute. And I kind of wanted to have like a little underground area down in here, like a little emporium of some sorts. And I tried putting all of the housing along water because I feel like housing along water is always really pretty. And over here, I think I'm going to have like a little park area because we have this tree with a beehive on it I didn't want to get rid of. And over on this section, I wanted to have some kind of restaurant overlooking the ocean, like so that the seating could be out overlooking the water. I think that would be really cool. And I have no idea what I want to do with this little island yet, but maybe I'll do something in a later episode. I think once I get all this built up, it's going to look really, really cool. I've never done anything like this in Minecraft, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out. I'm definitely going to need to figure out what kind of palette I want to have for the buildings, and it's going to take a long time for me to probably gather everything I need to make all of these buildings. So we'll slowly progress through the town city building throughout the next episodes. So I'm back here in the Wizard Tower, and I'm excited to keep progressing through Mana and Artifice. Last episode, we progressed through Tier 1 of Mana and Artifice, and we left off on Tier 2. I need to complete 7 out of 9 of these tasks, and I think that's what we're going to work on right now. So I think I'm going to try doing a Tier 2 ritual first. I'm going to check the book and see what kind of ritual I can do. Now that I'm Tier 2, I have a bunch more rituals that have opened up in the book. So I've decided that I want to try doing the Ritual of the Untamed Wind. It seems like a lot of the rituals that opened up make some kind of essence, and I have a lot of the ingredients I need to try out this ritual. The only things that I need to collect are the fireworks, and I have to make a couple more of the infused silk. The more I look at my wizard tower, the more I think it really looks good. I wasn't sure of this build before, but it's really starting to grow on me. So I have all the ingredients I need to start this ritual. I just have to mark it out with the chalk. Alright, I have the whole ritual chalked out, and I have all the items placed where they need to be, so let's see if it works. It says I am too low to start this ritual. I have to build higher. Well, that's unfortunate. This ritual can only be performed while high above the clouds. That's gonna be quite annoying. I've decided I'm just gonna tower up to the clouds from my wizard tower to see if it works. This is super high up and my area looks really cool from this high. I can't wait to build that city. I think it's gonna look amazing. So now I'm gonna chalk everything out again and see if it works. Alright, I have it all chalked out and all of the items placed again. Let's see if it works. It looks like everything is working and I just need to do it one more time. Here we go. Oh, there it is. I got a moat of air. How cool is that? That was a really, really cool animation. I really, really like that. ritual, and I think I'm just gonna leave this up here just in case I need it again, but I'm going to get rid of this dirt tower. I just realized that my lake down there kind of looks like a star. Very interesting. Next on the list is to create a magic broom. It's perfect that I made a moat of air because I actually need it to make the magic broom. It looks like we make it in the mana weaving altar, so I'm gonna make that right now. And there it is. I have a really cool magic broom now. So from what I'm getting, the magic broom, if you right click on a chest, it will sweep any drop items into the chest. So let me try dropping some dirt. Oh, did you see it? See it again. That's actually super, super cool. It's like slowly filtering into my chest, which I think is really cool. I don't feel like I need it right now. Next to do is craft a mana crystal and a crystal fragment. It looks like the mana crystal is used for regenerating, so let's craft it and see what it does. So 1 mana crystal fragment takes 8 chimmerite gems, and I don't have that many. I only have 12, I think. So I'll be able to craft 1 of these, but the mana crystal itself needs 8 of these, so I'm definitely going to have to go mining before I can actually make the whole mana crystal, but we can make this. And here it goes. I have 1 crystal fragment, and I'll put that away until I can make more. Next thing on the list is craft an unfired rune plate, so let's see how to do that. It looks like I just need 4 clay balls and any kind of rune in the middle. And there we go. Next on the list is Runeforge or Ruin. I believe I'm going to have to make a rune scribing table. So I'm going to collect these ingredients and make that. So a few other tools I need to craft a rune is the runesmith's hammer, which I've crafted up, and the runesmith's chisel. And now I'm in the process of making a runesmith's anvil. Alright, I'm going to plop this down right next to the runesmithing table. Not sure really what any of this stuff does yet, but I'm going to figure it out. So it looks like I need to take the unfired rune plate I made earlier and fire it in the forge. So it looks like we can make a bracelet or a ring and different kinds of runes. I'm not really sure how everything works yet, but I think we're going to try making a bracelet. So all I need to do is put in a superheated ventium ingot with my pattern and it should make a bracelet. So this is pretty hilarious. You put your rune pattern in here, you put your runesmith chisel and hammer in these slots, and you're supposed to memorize, I believe, this shape and make this shape. I don't know how I'm going to memorize this shape, but looks like I'm going to have to try. And there it is. I actually happened to make it. I did mess up the first time, but it was a good learning experience, and I was able to count how many spaces I actually needed to go over to make the bracelet pattern. So now I think we can move over to the runic anvil and make the bracelet. Looks like you can just place that on top, and I think I need one of these superheated ingots. Oh, okay. That looks so cool. I think you need to use the hammer 10 times on it. That was so cool. This mod literally goes above and beyond, and it just looks fantastic. So we have a mundane bracelet. I don't think it does anything, and I'm not sure how to give it any kind of ability or magical property yet, but hopefully we can figure that out soon. And it did say that I am able to go to tier 2 as long as I pick one of the factions. And I haven't quite decided which faction I want to go for. I really want to do the fairies, but I'm not sure if I like their abilities the best. So I'm gonna have to think about it for a minute, and I'm also not really prepared for the assassins they're gonna be sending, so I'm kind of scared. So I've been going through the different factions trying to figure out what I want to choose, and it looks like the demons have a lot of things that are offensive, such as fire spells and fire protection, explosion, and it looks like the fairy courts have more of like a trickery type abilities and flying and invisibility and stuff, and they can use healing. And the wizards have things that make you dispel harmful effects and get bonus mana and being able to regenerate the mana more. And I think that's what I'm gonna go with. I feel like if I was playing with other people, I might pick the fairies, and I feel like the demons would be really fun if I was going to be fighting other people or powerful bosses, but I don't think I'm really going to be doing that in this pack. So I'm just going to go with the extra mana. So now I have to figure out how to do the ritual of the Wizard's Council. So it looks like I'm going to need to collect a couple books, a spell book, a mote of magic, and 2 emeralds, which I honestly haven't even found emerald yet, I don't think. I might have to go on a mining adventure. So I think I have this working correctly. I think this ritual is going to give me the mote of magic, but I'm not 100% sure. And there it is. I think that's it. Oh, my inventory's full. Yeah, that was all I needed. Perfect. So now I believe I can make the ritual to summon the court of the wizards and get them to accept me into their faction. Okay, everyone, I think I'm ready to summon the Wizards Council, and I'm kind of excited to see what happens. So let's start the ritual up. Okay, I think I have everything where it needs to be. And here we go. Seems to be working. And there it goes. Oh! Look at all these wizards! This is so cool. I think I'm being accepted into their coven. Oh. There I go. Oh. I just realized that I don't have the right skin on. What is happening to me? So I just realized though that this is not my skin. This is my camera account skin. So I hope I don't have to redo this on my actual account, but I'll figure it out. It looks like I'm at tier 3 now, and I just need to do 9 of 11 tasks. And I think that'll probably be for another day. As I'm looking through this is intense. I have to explore 42 biomes, and I have to find a stronghold and go to the Nether. Man, I better get... Wait, I have to go 10k blocks away from world spawn? Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is gonna be hard. Way harder than the first 2. So this will be really fun to explore with you guys. I think that's a fine stopping point for today's episode. I want to thank you all for watching. And if you've enjoyed my content so far, feel free to boop that subscribe button and give the video a like. I hope you all have a mystical night and happy dreams.